I'm Donna Drake, and join me as we go to Tillis Jazz Fest 24. Joining us now is David, and David is actually an alum of this university. So what brought you out today? I heard that you love jazz. Is that true?
I adore jazz, and I wouldn't have known about this other than the fact that I am an alumnus, and I had received an email, and I was like, wow, this is the first time they're doing this here. It's a fantastic venue. The music is unreal, and it's right in my backyard. I live in Huntington, so how could I not come down to this event? It's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
This is such a wonderful day. There's the collaboration going on. This is actually the first moment of a long-term collaboration. Can you tell us about that, please?
Sure. About a year and a half ago, we were introduced Tillis Center and Jazz Lincoln Center by mutual board members, and they said, you know, it would be great if you two could just meet, see if there's anything there that we could work on together. And it really blossomed. Everyone got along into this beautiful partnership that you see now. So we had, this is the inaugural Tillis Jazz Festival. We hosted a regional, essentially Ellington program for high school jazz bands. We have several concerts next year with the Jazz Lincoln Center Orchestra, so it's really just been a very warm welcome from the Long Island community, and we're really just pleased to be here.
With someone that works at this venue, Lincoln Center, I mean, it is iconic, right? And bringing all of that love to Tillis Center, what are your hopes for the audience? What are you hoping that they gain from this?
You know, I think one of the amazing things about Tillis is it's such an incredible campus. You know, there are things that you can do here that we could never do at Lincoln Center. Just the mansions with the different music rooms, the beautiful halls, the outdoor gardens. It's just really amazing. But I'm hoping that they'll be introduced to artists that they might have not heard or seen before, because some of them are very emerging. For example, Georgia Hears, who's performing right now to open the festival. She's 23 years old, recent Juilliard grad, you know, doesn't have a huge presence yet, but she's going to be a big star. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to experience them on the rise. Yeah.
So both emerging artists as well as some established artists.
Exactly. For example, Branford Marsalis closes the festival tonight, and he's, you know, decades of experience, but being able to see that breadth and depth of the music.
How are you feeling? You must be so excited. This is the inaugural concert, actually, right? You just took the stage.
I feel incredible. I'm so excited that the day is finally here. An enormous amount of effort has come into this moment right now.
What got you involved in the arts? Why did you choose a career in the arts, Tom?
You know, I was a comedy guy when I was a kid, and a writer and a director and a theater guy, and I had the good fortune of sort of growing up creatively at Lincoln Center in New York, and I've just sort of worked my way to this point. And what's great is that I'm a Long Island guy. I grew up in Levittown, I live in Huntington, and to be leading this organization in my home community is a real honor.
One of the things that I'm hoping for today is nice weather, but if not, you also have a plan B, because there's plenty of like little places that you could like tuck in.
We have a full rain plan that hopefully will not be realized. Yes, interior locations for all the shows. But at this point, it's going, it's happening. Yeah.
It's very, very exciting. You have so many people. Did you just see, you just began, and look, there's a sea of people. This is wonderful. It's so well received.
My goal was about 1,000 people, and we've got just under 1,000 reserved for the day, and so pretty good stuff. And then we've got tonight fully sold out, Branford Marsalis and his award-winning quartet, so it's going to be a beautiful day of music.
Just when you said that, I just got chills in my legs. You're right. And the Tillis Center is such a wonderful performing arts center. Many major acts have been coming through there through the years. What do you love best about that ability to bring the arts to the public?
Yeah, well, listen, I think the value proposition for Tillis Center is that you don't need to go to New York City for world-class live entertainment. We're bringing the world right here to LIU Post and to Tillis Center, you know, partnering with Jazz at Lincoln Center on a festival like today. I've got a partnership with the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center, bringing in, you know, some younger artists like Brandi Carlile, John Legend. They were here last season. In the coming season ahead, we've got Steve Martin and Marty Short. Kristen Chenoweth is
Stop right there, Tom. Can I come to that?
Yes, it's our gala, so...
Oh, yeah. I mean, because they're like wild and crazy guys. I mean, come on, you can't help that, right? Oh, man, so much fun.
I think that those guys are even more relevant and exciting now with their Hulu series than they were for the last 30 years. So it's a real thrill. It's like a dream come true for me personally to bring those guys in as a comedy guy.
You'd be so nice. You'd be paradise to come home to and love. Oh, you'd be so nice to come home to. You would be nice by the fire while the breeze on high sings a lullaby. You'd be all that I could desire.
I just saw you exit the stage. Congratulations. Wow. So you were the inaugural person performing on the main stage at this new festival. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling amazing, really thankful. It's incredible to be a part of this, inaugural Till Center Jazz Fest. So I feel honored. And this was actually my festival debut as a band leader, so I feel extra special.
And also your TV, you told me. This is your first interview. That's exciting. I'm so excited to speak with you. You are well known in the industry. You're an up-and-coming emerging star, as so that they've been saying, and I know that humbles you a little bit, but it's true. You had the audience. Everybody was singing with you and vibing with you. That must have felt so great.
Yeah, I really love, actually, I learned this from a great trumpet player who's also my friend. He has this approach to performances where it's like, it's not a transactional experience. I used to think of performing as like, okay, I am the only one experiencing this performance, but it's so communal, and a great way to do that is by having the audience sing along with you. So that's why I tried to do the call and response, to round out the afternoon and to end it on like a fun note.
So what was that response? Do that with me now. What was like, how does that?
All right,
Okay,
so in the evening, when the sun goes down,
when the sun goes down.
in the evening,
Woo, woo.
sun goes down.
The sun goes down.
Ain't it hot, ain't it hot,
Ain't it hot?
when your lover can't be found.
Woo, when your lover can't be found. You went to Juilliard, and I want to know, to get your master's, and I want to know what that audition process was like.
Oh, that's a good question. So I don't know how much I can share. I don't know how confidential they are about the process. But anyone who tries to audition for the school will soon find out it's arduous. It's many levels of like getting past certain like pre-screens. So you send initial videos in, that gets reviewed by faculty, and then they decide if they want you back to do a live audition. Funny enough though, I was auditioning during COVID, so I was all online, and it was like through a Zoom, which oddly enough made it more nerve-wracking. I think being on the Zoom, I was also worried about like the computer problems that might arise during my audition, but thankfully it went well, and I was able to do my master's there. It was a really good experience. I didn't know what I was getting into coming back to New York after being away for so long, and being in a community of musicians and young people, it really helped me feel grounded coming back to New York.
How it felt to be invited to this very first inaugural event.
It was such an absolute pleasure and honor. I've known Jeff Lederer for several years, both through jazz education and through jazz journalism that I'm involved with. And Jeff reached out to me and asked if we'd like to come here. It was such a shock, and I said, if I can get my students to come, it's in the middle of the summer, we would love to, and miraculously most of the band was able to make it.
They showed up. They must have been so excited, like, to see one another, to see you, to experience things. Your last song was Bare Necessities, right? Do you always end up on something that's joyful?
I always try to start and end a performance with something upbeat. I'm a big believer in variety, you know, moving from something like what we did today, moving from a New Orleans style tune that's upbeat at the beginning, and then going to something maybe a little bit slower and bluesier, and then maybe a ballad, and then ending with a bang, like you said. Variety is the spice of life.
It is indeed. You had a special performer that joined you that was playing on a sax. Was it an alto sax, soprano sax? What instrument was that?
Jeff Lederer joined us on tenor saxophone. You know, it was a real full circle moment. I had commissioned Jeff to write something for my jazz band a year ago, and this was the only opportunity we had to play it with him in public, and it was great.
It was really touching. I could see people, like a lot of the parents and stuff, and one person actually wept, which was kind of cool. You don't get to see that because your back is mostly to the audience, but I just want to let you know it was very moving and very touching experience, and congratulations on all that you're doing. What was happening today at the Jazz Fest? What were you thinking about today?
It was very, very exciting. I think I was very excited to play in front of all these people. It was obviously a big event that our group had the honor of playing in, and it meant a great deal to me because it like expanded, I guess, my world outside of what I'm usually used to, and so it's like very exciting to do, and I just feel great.
Well, with your title of your group having the word global in it, you really did give us a global experience, right? There was music from everywhere, Africa. It was fun. Did you enjoy yourself?
I really did. All the songs we played, we got a different taste of different countries, and it just felt amazing to represent those countries.
And now you get to listen to other great jazz, right?
Yes.
How long have you been playing the trumpet?
I've been playing the trumpet for 7 years.
What did you enjoy most about playing at this tremendous Tillis Jazz Fest?
So I think the thing I enjoyed doing the most was definitely my solo opportunities, because I definitely got to share some of my ideas about how to play my instrument with the whole audience, and I saw a lot of people enjoyed how I was playing my instrument. So that made me really happy to see that they liked the music.
Have you ever listened to any of the trumpet players that are like major icons, like a Dizzy Gillespie? Is there anybody that you've enjoyed watching them play trumpet?
Yeah, so I've listened, when I started playing the trumpet when I was in 4th grade, I used to listen to Dizzy Gillespie a lot because I knew that he was one of the big name trumpeters. And I would also talk with my principal, because my principal, Mr. Zucker, he was also a trumpet player, so he was a huge inspiration to me as well.
Tell us about your thoughts and how well your team performed today.
Oh, man, I'm so proud of them. We had a really good time playing earlier today. The opportunity was wonderful. I thought they brought a lot of energy and a lot of their enthusiasm, as stated in our description of the group. So it was wonderful.
What was the inspiration for the music that you chose to play here today as a global group?
A lot of it comes from basically our culture and our community back home at our school. We're an extremely diverse community, from Hispanic cultures, African culture, Caribbean culture. So that was a huge inspiration, because a lot of them are hearing the music at home, but really don't get the opportunity to explore and play it. So that was basically the inspiration to keep going. And we've done other things from other countries that they're not familiar with, and that also branches the connection, what's similar and what's different.
And I know that you saw some friends here today too, right?
I did. Yep, back home from Jazz Lincoln Center. It's a huge community, and a lot of their support has benefited us to be here and to grow as a group, because we're only 2 years. It's a very young group. So we've got a lot to still grow and achieve and be music and share.
I used to play here for orchestra concerts, CW Post orchestra concerts when I was in high school. And then I did the summer music chamber program here for many, many summers. So it's great to be back in this capacity. It's a 2-movement piece that I composed in the height of the pandemic. I was commissioned by an organization called the Jazz Coalition to compose a piece that reflected the time. And the time was kind of crazy. Lots of protests going on outside the windows. So I wrote the first movement for solo harp, and then the second movement Rashawn will join in. This is entitled Unrest, movements 1 and 2.
you found out that you got invited to perform, what were your first thoughts?
Oh, I was excited because I live down in Houston, so I do play up in New York often, but this is maybe one of the first times that I guess, have headlined something. So, well, up here at least. So it's always fun, and I love jazz at Lincoln Center, and so when Georgina approached me about it, I was like, oh yeah, of course.
What has been your family's reaction to the fact that you've been successful? Like the album that you did. I guess, do you call it an album or CD? What do we call that? That collection? It's like a grouping. It's like a grouping that you can hear in multiple ways.
Yeah. It's an album, CD, record is all I'm saying. But they're probably just like, thank God. I'm able to somewhat support myself. So I'm sure I have a great mother and father who are very supportive. So I don't think they're surprised, but I know they're proud, and I really appreciate them.
So the word "us" means a lot to me, right? I want to know how you came up with the title of that collection.
I think when you think about humanity, I think it's easy to get caught up in what makes us different, but I think the thing that makes us all human is what makes us alike. So I think that when you approach how you treat others from that standpoint, I think you just get better results, more loving results, more caring results, and it could be a more empathetic community.
Tell us what the audience provides to you in terms of your performance.
Some audiences are really easy to play for, and this was one of them. And when you can tell that everyone's engaged, it makes you more engaged. And I don't know, it's just nothing like performing music with good energy in the room. And I think me and Gabe, we can definitely feel it, and it just makes us lock in more and want to put on a good show. He knows all the music already, so that's nice and convenient. It makes don't have to rehearse.
Speaking of rehearsing, did you rehearse your set list? Do you know exactly which one and which order, or sometimes do you all of a sudden look at each other and be like, you know what, we're doing this instead?
We try to keep it pretty spontaneous, to some extent, like within reason, especially when it's such a small group. You can get away with that, because like I said, we've played so much music together. We have a lot of similar repertoire, and Gabe is such an amazing musician. He knows every song ever written, and you just tell him what you want to do and what key, and he knows it better than you, even the songs I wrote.
So Sean, Charlotte, yes?
I'm born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Excellent. Love Charlotte. My brother was living in Tega Cay, South Carolina.
Yeah,
He was in the peninsula, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what do you love about Charlotte?
Well, not that much because I moved to New York, but I do love the South. I love the Southern tradition, and it did instill Southern roots and the blues soul and spirit about me. But I do love Charlotte. That was a joke.
I can understand, because I'm from St. Louis, and I say that too. I've been living in New York for a really long time, but you could take the girl out of St. Louis, but you can't take the St. Louis out of the girl.
Same with Charlotte.
So your new album is doing really well. Tell us about the inspiration.
Well, it is called the
Southern.
Southern Suite.
Right.
It is called the Southern Suite, and I wrote it in tribute to my upbringing in the South that instilled those values that I moved to New York with, and it's been great. People have been loving it, so I'm super excited and happy about the reception.
Which keyboard did you play on? What was the very first time you started putting your fingers on the keys?
My grandmother bought me a Casio. It was 40-something keys and barely weighted, but I don't know. I was 13 and I just played songs that were popular, and all of a sudden they saw I was serious, so they kind of upgraded me,
You're very serious. You're actually now one of the Steinway artists. How did you find that out, that they liked the way that you were able to play their instrument?
Well, I love Steinway, so it felt like a match made in heaven because it is my favorite piano. I think they make the greatest piano, and they're the leaders in craftsmanship, so I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and they're a really good family over there.
I've recently tried to learn how to play piano, okay? Thank you. Gentleman by the name of Eric Fine. And what I learned so far about it is I did not realize that the octaves just increase in frequency. And once you can learn the certain keys, right, that they repeat. I had no idea. I think when people first see, a keyboard, it's a little intimidating. Would you agree?
Maybe, but there are patterns. It's a lot of math in music. It's a lot of math and science in the music. Yeah, the octave, you just double the frequency, and there you go. It's the same note name, but different frequency, but same note name. So same pitch, different frequency.
Right. So if I play this note right here,
it's a C.
it's a C. And then if I go up,
It's another C.
how'd I do?
But a double in frequency, you good. A+ in my book. A+ in my book.
A+. So tell me about what your feelings are being at the Tillis, the very first Tillis Jazz Fest.
Well, it's a great. We always love when there's more jazz fests in the family, because Jazz Fest are fun. You get to really connect with the fans because they're right in front of you. You can just talk to them. It's different than playing at a regular venue. So I'm really excited. I've had a great time so far. It's a lot going on. It's really hectic. And it's really high.
14 different stages.
Yeah, that's a lot. So cheers to them. Huge festival. Huge festival.
And when you want somebody to sing and accompany you from your family, who's your go-to singer? Who's
Mom. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she can rock it.
She can rock it. She can rock it. And she loves it. She does the act very well.